Fred, I don't think we can hear you.
I can't hear Fred.
Oh, turn the wanky music back on. No, we can't hear you, Fred. Technical difficulty, actually. Stand by. Standing by. He's going to do the whole show on pad and paper.
You need to start putting post-it notes up on the screen.
In here. I'm totally.
Here we go. You're back.
There it is.
Go. Look, I scrambled for an emergency iPad standby. It's good because I made a mistake when I started the show, so it's good nobody could hear me, so it worked out perfect. So welcome to Hacking Gourmet special Christmas vacation edition. If you're following along at home, my first post on Facebook, by the way, if that was not the jankiest Christmas music I've ever heard in my life, I don't know what is. And part two, don't even know if jankiest is even a word, but let's go with it. So if you get a chance, hit the follow, share, send this to your grandmother, your nephew, your niece, your dog. If they've got an account, spread the love out there. Let us know. We have live shows the second and fourth Monday every week. We're even doing a Christmas show. We're even doing an extra show later this week on somebody else's show, which we'll talk about that later. But this is the Christmas episode. So you know that we would be probably cooking the traditional Christmas fare. But with this group, you never know what you're going to get. So let's go ahead and bring in our two guests that are the regulars. Not even guests. I don't even know what to call them anymore. The two main guys. Let's bring in Carney and McGee. Welcome, guys. I can't hear Brian. I can't hear Brian.
Now?
It's because he's not.
No, I
talking.
totally can't hear you. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I can hear you fine.
You can hear. Oh.
If this doesn't make people want to watch the show, what doesn't? Well, Fred, welcome.
I know,
it's our
right?
It's our Christmas special. I always wait at the beginning of the show so Brian can speak first, and then he doesn't speak, so it's just uncomfortable silence.
I did say something, and Fred said he couldn't hear me.
Oh yeah, and I was giving you a hard time. But
Yeah, that
anyway,
was
good evening, Merry Christmas, ho ho ho.
I was going to wish Fred a Green Bay Packers Happy Victory Sunday, and of course today is Cowboy Victory Monday. And Carney, I'd like to wish. Well, never mind. We'll just skip over that.
Oh, wow. That hurts.
Oof.
Cowboys are still in the
concerned,
playoff hunt, and the Patriots are not. Interesting.
For all the concerns for me, it's basketball season again, so here we go.
It is?
Yeah, it starts this week. It's actually already started. We got some big games.
I think NBA starts tomorrow.
Yeah. So the preseason is done, and we got basketball starting tomorrow, and life's going to be good. And the Patriots suck, so I can move on from that and on to the show, right? So enough about football.
Yeah, the rest of us didn't even know it was basketball season yet because actually we still have football season.
We still have football to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take all the wins and Super Bowls over the last 20 years for just having one season of poor performance. But you know what? I am rooting for the Buffalo Bills this year. So AFC East, I'm going to stay strong. I'm rooting for the Bills. I think they're the underdogs coming in, and I think they're going to make a ruckus. So for the games coming up this next week, and I'm rooting for the Bills.
You couldn't have picked one. You couldn't have picked one of our teams. You couldn't have come over to the Packers or the Cowboys. You got to go rogue.
No, I'm rooting for everybody in the NFC East to lose, just because it's incredibly entertaining watching. I really so badly want a team with a losing record in the NFL playoffs, like badly.
So let me ask you this. So who in the NFL hurt you as a child that you would even take that position? I mean, that just doesn't. I don't get that. I just don't get that.
Oh.
All right, moving on. Welcome to the people in the sideline audience. I can see you there, and so I guess a lot going on. So McGee, you were actually shooting a very large gun the other day that I saw on Facebook. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I was down at Buddy's Ranch. Let's just say we brought a lot of toys out to the ranch to play with, and one of them was a 50 caliber Barrett rifle, and that was a fun little piece of equipment to shoot, let me tell you. It knocked my. I had my travel humidor, my big travel humidor, on the bench, and when I pulled it was you couldn't see it on camera, but when it went off, it blew my travel humidor off the bench. It was that violent.
Oh wow. Okay. Got that going for you. Then you had a helicopter ride. Just to put her down there.
Helicopter ride, pig shooting, pig hunting from the helicopter. I actually got 6 pigs, and we pulled the back straps out of them, tried to cook them, but they were too big, so the meat never tenderized, but the flavor was there. But it was all in all, it was a great weekend.
Sounds good. Carney, what have you been up to? I know you were traveling a little bit.
Yeah, I had a crazy couple 3 weeks. The holidays were nuts. In the last few weeks, I've been in Orlando, and then I was in Tampa for 2 weeks. We had a big fundraiser we did on Wednesday for the Movember Foundation. That was a big party that we put together, which was a big success. We raised nearly $7,000 in our first time. That was something we put together kind of last minute. And then we had our gourmet smoke session on the 12th, which was a great time with Galliano down there. So we cooked the picanha, the Wagyu picanha, and then we did the Argentinian chorizo with the chimichurri sauce. So that was a really good time, but a really hectic couple weeks. So I'm happy to be back up home here in Maine to relax a little bit and close out the year and some things with that. But so I'm actually first time I'm cooking inside here at the Maine estate. So I'm here in the kitchen, and I've actually already done some cooking today too. But I'm doing some roast items. So when we get in, I'll explain a little bit of a change of pace here because it's some limited availability and some things that I wanted for cooking tonight. But yeah, it's been a great couple weeks and busy and definitely celebrated the holiday spirit. And I said it's good to be here to relax a little bit.
So tell me, I was not on it. Tell me about the gourmet smoke session specifically. I know you mentioned it briefly, but I mean,
yeah,
what did you guys do?
We had about probably close to 100 people through there throughout the evening. We did the Wagyu picanha steak, which was great. That was a smaller steak, so it didn't really need a lot of cooking time. We had the Mediterranean pink sea salt, the Himalayan pink sea salt, and the chorizo that we had. Highly recommend the Argentinian chorizo. I had people from South America that were at the event. Lito actually came, as well as Lito Jr., and they said that was the best chorizo they'd ever eaten. So if you see the Argentinian chorizo on Meat and Bone, it comes highly recommended from people with some South American background and knowledge. So yeah, we had a great time. Close to 100 people. We had Brugal there with us as well, so that was the beverage pairing. We had a great outdoor cooking area, and it was great because we had the charcoal grill. I got to cook with a ton of fire, so everything was charred and was right up my alley. But yeah, great festival. A great celebration there for the gourmet smoke session. We'll get into our next session here later today. We don't have all the details on it, but we do have the date. That will be coming up in January, and we'll be announcing that information later in this week once we get the menu finalized. But we'll give you a little bit of information on that. That'll be on January 14th. But it was a great session. It was really good. They've all been excellent so far. That was our third session, but a great time.
All right, well, let's talk about, before we get into what they're preparing today, let's talk about our top 5. Carney sent over this question a little bit earlier in the week, and it was our top 5 Christmas traditions is what it was. So we're going to put those up, and everybody had something different. I was looking to see where the crossovers would be, but I didn't expect a whole lot of them in here. And this is sponsored by Wood Butcher. You've seen them use all the different Wood Butcher stuff that we have. Really cool stuff. Check them out at woodbutchermaine.com. So Carney's top 5 traditions were homemade pizza, mulled cider, prime beef, Christmas ornaments, and Christmas Eve service. McGee went with a white elephant, which I'm assuming is a white elephant gift, which is always fun. Takes 200 hours if you're not familiar with it for every 15 people you have. Bingo, kind of curious about that one. Christmas Eve present, after meal presents, okay, and prime rib. And then I always do individual beef Wellingtons on Christmas. We usually do Dungeness crab on Christmas Eve. We have hot buttered rums. We do presents whenever. So I can tell you that we've already opened up, Tracy and I probably opened up 5 of our presents each going into this. We've started as early as December 10th. But normally we are supposed to do them, and we try to hold them back on Christmas Eve is when we do our presents and stockings on Christmas Day, but we have a tendency to do them just randomly throughout the month. My daughter and I got her to do that when my daughter was little because we didn't want to conform to society's rules. So we were allowed to open up presents whenever we wanted to. And then we have quiche and champagne on Christmas morning. So some good traditions there. So Brian, let's start with you. Let's talk about the bingo. That just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, we do. Usually, Thanksgiving and Christmas, we have anywhere from 10 to 20 people at the house. So what we do is everybody brings, on top of whatever presents and gifts exchanged, we get people to bring, $5, $10 gift cards. And then we, after dinner and after presents and everybody's kind of falling asleep, we play bingo for a gift card.
And then this is also the same group that does the white elephant?
Yeah.
And how intense does that bout get?
That gets pretty intense. We've actually done something different where you wrap a present, you give oven mitts to one person and a pair of dice to another person, and they roll the dice until they roll doubles. The person with the oven mitts gets to try to open the present. As soon as the guy rolls doubles, the dice move and the present moves and oven mitts move. And then you're trying to open a present with gloves with oven mitts on, and eventually it takes about 20 minutes. Finally, somebody gets into it before somebody rolls doubles and gets to keep that gift.
You've taken one of the most drawn out games ever and just supersized it. I've never even heard of that. Wow. All right, Carney, tell me about mulled cider and homemade pizza. Are those on the same night?
Yeah, mulled cider is traditionally on Christmas Day. I just love the smell of mulled cider around the house. We have candles that smell like mulled cider, but the mulled cider itself is great. I usually only have maybe 1 or 2 glasses of it, but I just enjoy the smell. It's a really good memory. And then the homemade pizza, we do a homemade pizza the Christmas Eve. So we do that right after the Christmas Eve service at our church. Unfortunately, with COVID this year, it's going to be postponed, that service. But the pizza will not be postponed. And the one good thing about the service being canceled, the only good thing is we'll have our own service here at the house. But we always get in an argument of what the right time of the day is to eat the pizza. So without the service, we can pick whatever time of the day we want to eat the pizza. So that'll hopefully be not a yearly tradition, but one problem solved that we have a family discussion about every year. But yeah, pizza, homemade pizza, it's some of the best pizza. It's awesome. It's really good. My dad makes it. He's been doing this for over 25 years. So that's one of my favorite things with that. And then obviously prime beef and Christmas ornaments. We do Christmas ornaments the night before, again, Christmas Eve. So we have a pretty substantial Christmas Eve, and then the prime rib and the mulled cider happen on Christmas Day.
Nice. Very nice. Well, let's talk about what we're cooking tonight, and then actually, maybe we'll talk a little bit about what we're cooking on Christmas, although we've kind of segued into that a little bit. But let's talk a little bit about what you're cooking today. So, Brian, let's start with you. What are you cooking today?
All right, I've got some bacon-covered Brussels sprouts in the oven. Gonna roast those, and I'm cooking something for the very first time. I've never cooked this before, so I have duck breast. I'm gonna do a honey orange glaze to go with it, and see how it turns out.
All right. I actually did duck for the first time on Thanksgiving. Actually, it's a very similar presentation, so I'll be curious to see how you like. I did a whole duck as opposed to the breast, so I'm curious to see how that turns out. It was good. I wasn't. I don't dislike duck. It was just okay for me. It wasn't. I don't know. And I can't say that I would have cooked it any different, with the exception of crisping it up the end. I think I would have done more of that as far as the skin was concerned. I thought I'd done plenty of that. All right, let's jump over to Carney. Carney, what do you got going on for this episode?
So
Brian's got like 2 ingredients.
I can't say it's more perfect timing. Uncle Steve is actually on here while we're actually running Uncle Steve's segment. I'm actually using Uncle Steve's shake today. I got the competition bird powder, which I actually put on my lamb. Now, I was going to do rack of lamb, but they were out of it at the grocery store, so I started by doing a roast leg of lamb. I started that roasting, a new roasting technique that I used. I cooked it for about 25 minutes at a really high temperature, then shut the oven off and let it rest for the last 2.5 hours. I have no clue how it's going to come out for lamb. I've done it with beef before. But we'll see how that comes out. I have low expectations, but the shake that I used on it is the competition bird powder. This is probably my favorite. So we've got that right here, the Uncle Steve Shake competition bird powder. That one on top. And then we've got holiday root vegetables. We're going to be doing beets, fennel, red onion, garlic, a little bit of orange. We're going to use orange juice over the top of that. Pine nuts, salt. That's going to be the the black truffle salt, olive oil, pomegranate, and then we're going to top it off with chives. That's all going to go in the oven at 400 degrees. I've got the oven preheating right now. That's going to go at 400 degrees for about 35 minutes, and that'll go off to the side. And I'm going to make a little gravy with the leftover juices from the roasting of the lamb. I'm just going to put the leftover juices in there and throw in a little bit of flour to thicken it up. But I'm not going to go too thick because I want to put that over the top of the lamb. And then I also got a couple of unique things here on the grill cam today that I wanted to mention. First of all, you can see the lamb leg resting there. This was bone out, so there's no bone in there. We've got a special new branding iron from my lady friend. She got me this nice new branding iron. So that says Merry Christmas on it. We're going to hopefully successfully put a Merry Christmas brand on this piece of lamb once we get it cut up. And we've also, in honor of the actual show we've got today, we've got the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation Moose Mug, which I'll be doing a cheers with my father in shortly. We'll be opening that up and drinking a Sam Adams Boston Lager with that. And then while I'm waiting on the roasting, because all my cooking's pretty much done, I'm going to be putting together a charcuterie board. And that charcuterie board is going to have, what do we got on there? We're going to have aged Irish cheddar cheese. We've got manchego cheese from our friends at Meat and Bone. We've got a blueberry goat cheese that we're going to have there. And then we have a horseradish New York cheddar. And then a spicy salami that we're going to chop up a little bit. We're going to use the microplane on that and bring some nice little discs. And I got some bread that we're going to have here. I got some French baguette that I put a little olive oil on. We're going to throw that in the oven. I got a lot of stuff going on here, but it's going to be very simple at the end. I'm also going to roast some pumpkin seeds and some truffle salt for my charcuterie board. And I have one final thing. This is something that I picked up that I really, really enjoy. These are honeycombs from a company called Pass the Honey. These are little individual honeycombs. They come in these little packages, and you can take the little individual honeycombs. So we'll be pulling that out, and we've got honeycomb to go on our charcuterie board. So while the vegetables are roasting, everything's already cut up. I'm going to start that, and then we'll start putting together this charcuterie board.
I mean, I think just the charcuterie board alone was enough food based on everything you were rattling off there.
Yeah, it's getting intense.
I'm also using the Uncle Steve competition bird powder on my Duck Breast as well.
Oh, nice.
I actually used it the other day, so I got that package like you did, Brian. It was loaded with different spices. So once I kind of figured out what they were, I've used it twice in the last week, and I was pretty impressed by the blend. You know, it was actually really good. Now I haven't done the chicken one yet. Matter of fact, I need to do that because I haven't cooked chicken for about a week because I've been on this prime rib kick and steak kick with the new grill. But I'm gonna try it. But actually, so far I've been pretty impressed by the stuff. And I noticed, Brian, did you catch that there weren't any fiddleheads in the mix?
I thought I heard fiddleheads, but it was honeycomb, right?
They're out of season, guys.
Yeah. No, it's out of season. You know, if he has it, it will kill him.
Right. No bingo today. No Carney bingo today.
Is I'm putting garlic on top of the vegetables, olive oil, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but I've got fennel as well, so we have fennel in there too. And I chose to do orange juice instead of lemon, just because I like the citrus. And I think orange is a little more festive than lemon is. So we've got some orange. We're going to put at the top of this some orange zest, and I've got some chopped up garlic that we're going to throw on top. And that oven, I did have that warmed up to 400, so that should be ready soon. And we're just going to hit it with a little salt, a little truffle salt, a little bit of pepper, and those vegetables will be ready to go in. I like the color on this a lot, and I'm going to hit it with some orange zest, but I think this is really festive colors. The white and the green and the red is going to look real nice.
I like it. Brian, what are you doing? Are you searing the meat there? I can't tell what's in. Is it a cast iron there you're searing?
Yeah, I've got the duck in the pan. I'm gonna do about 6 minutes on the fat side. I'm going to do about 4 minutes on the other side. And then I'll start working on that orange honey glaze, which will be interesting. I guess steak tip with duck, if you're cooking breast, to always score the fat, because it'll keep it from seizing up in the pan and curling up, and you'll get a much more even cook across the breast.
What are you using for oil in there?
No oil. I put it in a dry cast iron, and the fat that's rendering out is cooking it for me.
Oh, okay. All right. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
All that, I don't know if you can see it, but all that stuff there.
All right, McGee's over there doing that. We'll check back with Jonathan, who is assembling stuff. I guess it's your stuff's already in the oven.
By the way, I bought blood oranges, which are awesome. I screwed up and got blood oranges. That's great. So grill cam here. We've got the lambs just sitting there resting. What I did is I cooked this as a 5-pound roast. I cooked it at 550 degrees for 25 minutes. And then I shut it off, and I let it rest for the last 2 hours. I pulled it out at right when the show started, at 5 o'clock, and it came out literally perfect. So I don't want to cut into it yet, but we'll brag about that at the end. I did cut to the end of it just to try it, and I think it's going to be absolutely perfect medium rare in the middle. So we'll see that after, but I'm very happy with how that came out, and hopefully it continues to be in good shape there. Right now, I said I'm working on the vegetables. That's about to go into the oven. Here I got it at 400 degrees. This is what I'm working with. We got the charcuterie board over here getting lined up. That's where I'm going to put the bread in when the oven's ready at 400 degrees. Then start chopping up the cheese and put those on my second wood butcher board, which is under below. Once that's in there, the charcuterie board's done and the vegetables are in the oven. I'm going to start my little gravy off to the side. And I've got some jazz music playing in the background today, just for everybody to get...
We can hear that. We can hear that. So you've spent all this time prepping on this. Did you bring some gourmet facts for this week?
I thought you'd never ask. Gourmet facts. Here we go. These are some good ones. These are some good ones. I have screened these. So here we go. The gourmet facts brought to you by Smoked Meats by McGee and the Crown Heads. Thank you, Crown Heads. Thank you for that. Your gourmet facts. You ready? Fact 1. Ooh. This is going to scare some people. An average Christmas dinner has over 700 calories per serving. The average person.
Per person?
700
I
per
don't know about that. That's crazy.
Per person.
That's crazy.
Facts are facts, Fred.
Facts are facts. Okay.
One thing I'm also doing on here with the vegetables that I want to get into before I read the next fact is I'm putting pomegranate over the top. I'll show everybody a picture of it before we put it in the oven. And I'm also throwing pine nuts directly on top of it to give it some the holiday flavor thing. It looks delicious. So
that's like 2,500 more than the average Thanksgiving meal, oddly enough.
I'm telling you, facts are facts. So
facts are facts. Okay, all right. Moving on.
Candy canes.
These cannot be challenged, Brian.
No, they can't. Candy canes were invented to keep kids quiet.
I can believe that.
Coincidentally, the stripes came after. Here we go, our next gourmet fact. The movie Christmas Vacation was not filmed in Chicago. It was actually filmed in Colorado and California.
Not surprising.
And our very next gourmet fact, and our last gourmet fact. The most popular time for Christmas dinner is between 3 and 5 p.m.
Okay. I'm not going to argue that. Brian, when do you have Christmas dinner?
We usually do between 3 and 4 o'clock.
What about you, Jonathan?
We usually end up eating between 1 and 3 at the latest.
Okay. I'm going to say we're closer to 5. I mean, we're really, I mean, not, like just before it's dark, because, well, that's Christmas dinner. So Yeah, I don't know. I still think we're not early on Christmas dinner, though. We're really closer to like 5 or 6 because we've already done our presents Christmas Eve. So that's the one everybody tries to get out there, get that dinner in a little bit earlier. But the rule is on opening presents Christmas Eve, we can't go till it's dark out. So everybody hates that rule.
By the way, check out these vegetables. So we've got fennel, onions, we got beets, we've got pomegranate on top, we've got pine nuts. It's all going to go in the oven for 35 minutes or so. It should be going in here shortly, so we'll time that to be done right at the end of the show. And as soon as the oven's ready, which it is just about done, should be ready in a moment here, probably 2 or 3 minutes. It's going to go right in the oven. We're going to throw the bread in there and put the cheese board together as well. And I'll do the cheese board right on the grill cam for everybody. But in the meantime, I am going to open up my my Wally World Christmas Vacation Bullwinkle mug, which is the mug from Christmas Vacation. And I'm going to put a little bit of beer in there. And if my father comes up, I'll share it with him. If he doesn't, I'll drink the whole thing.
But that's not really Bullwinkle, just for the record.
Yeah, what was the name of the moose? Let me see if it says it.
Marty the Moose.
Is it really? There's a fact for you.
Marty. How come that wasn't in fact?
This says,
Marty the Moose from Wally World.
Official Clark Griswold glass moose mug. So we got some stuff here on the back. It's got some quotes. If that cat had 9 lives, it sure used them all. Where is Eddie? He usually eats these darn things. It was an ugly tree anyway, and welcome to our home and what's left of it. Yeah, so it doesn't say Marty the Moose on here, but that is truly his name?
Yes.
There you go. Gourmet Facts. You are part of the show, so that kind of should put the logos back up. Here we go. So I'm going to share a beer with my dad. He's coming on for a toast here.
If somebody watching the show can correct me on their the Marty the Moose thing, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Actually, you know what? I can probably jump over to the interwebs. Super. I'm like Coop now. I'm fact checking on the fly. I feel so professionally in here. And Wally World glasses, Moose mugs, Marty Moose. There we go. All right,
so we're drinking beer out of Marty the Moose. In the show, they were drinking
fact checked on the fly.
All right, the vegetables are going in. Put the bread in there. Bread's going to go in for probably 5 minutes at the most. And then I'm going to set up the pumpkin seeds here. Pumpkin seeds are going to go on the charcuterie board. Pumpkin seeds in there. Just going to put a little bit of olive oil on them and then hit them with some salt. Put those on the bottom rack. Key with these vegetables here is we don't want to keep opening the oven. People like doing that when you're doing a lot of cooking, and generally you don't really want to open the oven. Any baking, you want to keep it shut. You want to control the heat. But we've got these in here, tossing a little salt, pumpkin seeds. That's the black truffle salt. And that's going to go into the bottom rack here. Those can sit for a little while, probably 10 minutes.
All right, Brian, are you done? Are you done searing this thing? Because this duck is like a whole lot of process in searing it.
Yeah, no, I'm searing and cooking. So I'm getting ready to pull the duck. I'm going to start the glaze with honey, orange juice, and orange chunks. And then get that solidified a little bit, and then I'm going to put the duck back in there with it and put it in the oven for about 7 minutes, and it should be perfect.
Okay. Are you going to pre-slice the duck or no?
Am I going to what?
Are you going to pre-slice the duck or just put it in as breasts?
Put it in as a breast and then slice it once it's done cooking and rest it.
Gotcha. Okay.
And save all this delicious stuff back.
So let me ask you this. So what, when you guys had all this, so Christmas Eve dinner, Christmas Day dinner. Jonathan, what are you doing Christmas Eve? Christmas Eve is your pizza day? Is that what it is? Okay, Brian, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Brian. What do you? Christmas Eve is what for you? Food.
Christmas Eve is just casual, nothing fancy. Christmas Day is the big
Okay.
dinner for the whole
All right.
family.
And for those of us watching at home, he is using Simply Orange juice, which is the official orange juice of Hacking Gourmet. I don't know that for sure. I don't know what actually Jonathan uses, but I know that's what I use. So there we go. Jonathan's gone, so I'm going to make up what foods that Jonathan would normally have. Jonathan would normally have.
He's back. He's back.
Oh, you are so lucky. I was just going to make up what your traditional food were.
We do pizza on Christmas Eve. During the day, I eat real light so I can gorge myself in pizza at night. During Christmas Day, we do prime rib. Traditionally do a roast. This year, we're going to do 3 or 4 different steaks. I have a 60-day dry-aged Magic City gin-infused ribeye. I've got a 45-day ribeye that we're going to do. That's been aged just 45 days regular aged. I got a 90-day that's been aged in Carapuno rum. So we do red meat of some kind. I always do like spatchcock chicken or turkey. We're going to be doing a turkey this year, the one that I picked up from Thanksgiving for meat and bones. So maybe doing a turkey for my mom. And we'll do mashed potatoes. We do charcuterie boards, shrimp cocktails, cheese plate. So we just have snacks throughout the day, and that's kind of how the whole week goes. The whole week's kind of a red meat themed. But we eat quite early, and then we just sit and rest and relax and watch TV and football and basketball, and just enjoy everything. We do the presents usually in the morning.
Okay. Good. All right, let's see where we are here. So, Jonathan, where are you? You've got the bread's not in yet. But I saw you started slicing over there, or you're at least sneaking a slice. What were you doing?
Bread's in. I've actually sneaked some of the lamb because it's delicious. The bread's in the oven, and the vegetables are in the oven. I just opened it up to show you guys what I'm not supposed to do. But I'm going to start putting together a charcuterie board here on the left-hand side. I've got one of these live edge wood butcher boards, and I said I'm just going to get this cheese cut up. There's some pretty big pieces of cheese here, so I'm just going to slice them in half. But we've got the manchego cheese. We've got a goat cheese that's wrapped in. I think everybody's seen that one. This is the classic blueberry wrapped goat cheese. It's really delicious. So we got that on there.
Very festive for the holidays.
Yeah. And I got the nuts in the oven too, so those are there. So we got that. And this is the aged cheddar. And then I've got a horseradish cheddar. And we're going to set up. By the way, this salami I got, this hard cured salami here, is very spicy. I got the spicy version, so it's got a nice kick.
Who's it from? Who makes it?
You know what? I threw the packaging away. Wait a minute. It's a traditional one. This is the Bussetto Foods, Busseto.
Okay.
It's the one that you can find in any of your grocery stores.
There's a boar's head pepperoni that I actually picked up at ABC Liquors of all places. It was kind of like they have this makeshift late night charcuterie, refrigerator sitting there, and it was pretty solid. It was like $3.99 at ABC. It was a good portion of like you had to cut it up still, and it was pepperoni. It was really tasty.
Yeah, the horseradish. I like horseradish a lot. Big fan of cocktail sauce.
Oh yeah.
That's why I picked that up. We're just going to use the microplane here for the salami. Actually, we're not going to use the microplane because they keep dropping you on the ground because it's in the wrong direction. So I'll just use my knife here.
It's like a very quiet holiday episode.
The duck is in the orange honey glaze, and it's going in the oven for about 7 minutes.
Nice.
And I should have a perfect medium rare duck when I'm done.
One reason being quiet for
An easy cleanup, Brian.
Yes. And I have duck fat to cook with now.
Ooh, what are you gonna do with that?
Well, I don't know, but I'm gonna put something in it. I'm thinking French fries right off the bat.
Yeah. Now, do you guys, either of you guys go out and like look at Christmas lights like intentionally, like go drive around or walk around and look at Christmas lights?
Sometimes it depends. Last couple of years we haven't, but there are years where you, of course, in Texas we got a couple of those. In Tyler, you have like a Christmas town where you drive through,
Right.
fix, lights and stuff like that. But there are some neighborhoods, man. They go nuts. They got the music timed to the lights and all that fun stuff. So that stuff's kind of cool to go look at.
My little town up here made a pretty big effort this year to make sure, do some special things with the COVID thing, where people have been at home in the cold weather. So they've made a pretty big effort this year on decorations here in town. So we are going to go drive around and check out what's been going on around town here. So that'll be kind of fun. We're going to do that probably tomorrow or Wednesday. We used to do it a lot growing up as kids too, so that'll be fun to do that again.
Yeah, we're going to do that after the show tonight, actually. One of the towns nearby, they actually, on the rooftops, they have a snow machine, so they just kind of basically throw snow out all over the street for about a 3.5, 4 hour period, which is kind of fun, especially in Florida because we don't get snow. I mean, in Maine, they probably don't do snow machines in Maine, actually, for anybody, now that I think about it.
We use snow machines on, ski slopes to try to enhance the season, to control the amount of snow, but that's really the only place that we get snow machines.
Now, speaking of when you mentioned earlier, is it every guy's dream to light up their house like Christmas, like Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation, where it can be seen from space?
No. That is, I've put up lights, and we put up a lot of lights before, and that's just a lot of work. I have no desire. I like looking at it, but I look at some of these houses. Like, we're going to look at a house tonight that we go by. I don't know how many lights are out there. I mean, he does like every time, like Easter, Christmas. He's got like 4 holidays that just like the entire lawn, the entire house, everything. Halloween's one. So I go by there and I'm just like, man, I just no. I mean, I like looking at it, but I'm just like, man, you've got other issues at that point. That's just too much work.
A lot of work.
So I just pulled the bread out, cutting that up. So I just simply hit that with a little olive oil on it.
So, Carney, when you get an opportunity, and there's no hurry, we'll be looking for, I'm assuming you put together a Would You Rather.
I did. We have a Would You Rather. It's very good.
I wonder if it's holiday themed.
We'll jump over there in just a moment. We're wrapping up.
That's all right. We are actually ahead of schedule. You guys are almost done. This is great. We could all go home early. Hey, are we gonna get in trouble for that music playing in the background?
I'm gonna finish these Brussels sprouts and some of that duck pie. How about that?
We have own the music in the background of this song. So
If we, Brian, if we were doing a point system again, you just would have won the show. Back up an old format. You just would have won the show right there.
Right. I'm gonna finish the Brussels sprouts and some duck pie.
Oh wow!
And bacon.
That's a big play. Brian's coming to play for the holidays.
Yeah, that was a prime time move right there. They're just bouncing you up to the Food Channel now.
I'm getting the call to go to the big league.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So I got the nuts down below with the pumpkin seeds. Those are ground up nicely. I'm eating a lot already. This is the most I've ever eaten on the show. I like this cooking stuff ahead of time.
Yeah, I don't know about the most you've ever eaten on the show, but if that makes you feel better around the holidays, we'll go ahead and go with that.
Well, at least during the show.
Well, this is about the most prepared you've been as far as having things ready to go, so that's fair.
All right, here we
Well,
go.
my mise en place is always good. This is the most pre-cooking I've ever done.
No, Brian's birthday, you had nothing to cook except for salad.
Right. Yeah, let's all remember that day.
All right, so now that that's done, move on to the Would You Rather. This is going to be exciting. I've been looking forward to this one. We've had the Gourmet Facks advertisement up the whole time. It's great. Crown Head's got a bit of extra advertisement.
Serious press time.
Would You Rather by our friends at the Red Meat Lovers Club. Doing live events again. Here we go. Would you rather red or white meat for Christmas dinner?
Red.
For Christmas thing? Red.
I mean, that wasn't even going to be a thing.
Red meat.
That had no chance. Yeah, we're all in agreement. There we go. There's one. See if we can undefeated, all in agreement. Let's see what happens.
Would you rather be an elf in Santa's toy shop or a reindeer on Santa's sleigh?
Reindeer.
Yeah, reindeer. One black.
I think I'm going to go reindeer too. I think being an elf is just too much work. Reindeer, you get to chill.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
exactly. I mean, and they got all those reindeer games. I mean,
You want to hear a quick Santa flying joke? Or me?
Sure.
Santa Claus is in a sled with an FAA and instructor next to him holding a shotgun. He goes, just FYI, you're going to lose an engine on takeoff. Get it?
oh, wow.
Fun.
All
right.
right, moving on. Would you rather work untangling Christmas lights or as a mall Santa?
Untangling Christmas lights. I can smoke cigars while I do it.
Wow, you've hit one of my worst OCD nightmares, and I'm actually still going to have to go with untangling Christmas lights. Brian, I think, saved me on that by the smoking a cigar thing. So yeah, I'm going untangling Christmas lights.
All right, I went with, this is a really tough one for me too. I think I'd rather be a mall Santa.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
untangling Christmas lights is absolutely miserable.
Yeah, it was a tough one for me, but I mean, you can smoke a cigar. Well, so much for our undefeated having a chance at all five the same.
All right. Would you rather only speak in Christmas song lyrics or Christmas movie quotes?
Christmas movie quotes.
Yeah, Christmas movie quotes.
Because Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to go Christmas movie quotes. I'm just going to do Christmas movie quotes for the whole rest of the show.
I think I'm going with Christmas song lyrics. There's just more words.
I'm just going to do 2 minutes of only Christmas movie quotes.
All right, here we go. The very final. Would you rather 11 pipers piping or 12 drummers drumming?
Son of a nutcracker.
I'm gonna drummers.
Yeah, I don't really care. I'm gonna go drummers. I don't really care though.
I'm gonna go with the 11 pipers piping. I think it's less irritating. So 11 pipers piping.
Pipers are less irritating than drummers. Interesting.
Well, I remember growing up, I was a drummer, not in real life. I had this little drum and it used to drive my mother absolutely insane. So I'm kind of basing off of that I would prefer to the piping. I would prefer the piping side of it just because of the irritation that I cause with the drumming. So in my eyes, the drumming is more irritating. And that's your Gourmet Facts, brought to you by the Would You Rather section.
That was good. Red meat lovers, thank you very much for those. That was good. Those were fun. It's always fun when you don't know what they are. You know, when you don't know what's coming. We should have done like a trivia of like name a movie quote, a holiday movie quote, and see if anybody can. So let me ask you this: while we have a few minutes left here, what do either of you have like a one or two go-to holiday movies that you like to watch?
I'm old school. I say that. Die Hard, for some reason, has crept its way. I watch it every year. But I'm old school with the old Rudolph, the old Island of Misfit Toys, all those oldie, but Charlie Brown Christmas. Those are the ones I make sure I watch.
Nice. Jonathan, how about you?
Yeah, we watch in our family reluctantly. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That used to be one of my favorites until I've seen it now literally 1,000 times. Just endless amounts of times. It's a really good movie, but it's just not funny anymore. Probably one of my favorite Christmas movies is Polar Express. I really, really enjoy that movie. I think it's awesome.
I haven't seen that movie. Everybody keeps telling me about that one.
Yeah, really well done. And then Elf is arguably the best movie of all time.
Good choice.
I don't know.
For me, it's there's a rotation, so it's like really once I hit December, there's a couple that I will watch. I will definitely watch Elf. It will probably be like the Christmas Eve or Christmas Day movie. I do like the movie Love Actually, which is a kind of an ensemble cast that just takes place during Christmas, but that's an enjoyable movie for me. And there's like a couple of obscure ones. I actually like Fred Claus with Vince Vaughn. I think that one's actually pretty funny. So I see that one, and then the classics. You can't ignore the classics.
Yeah. The one with Tim Allen's really good. Is that Fred Claus?
That is the Santa Claus. That's another one on my list that I like. Except for the sequels are horrible, but the very first one's very good.
Original.
That's called the Santa Claus, Clause. As in a clause where he accidentally becomes Santa. That's a strong one.
All right,
and here we are on the grill cam. That's a charcuterie board.
We're gonna cut the lamb open.
Oof.
So William and Cooper in the green green room there has Elf, solid. Heat Miser. Who doesn't like Heat Miser?
Oh yeah.
That's definitely a really good one.
This lamb came out absolutely incredible.
That looks good.
If you can see closely, it's hard to see the steam on there, but like that's been resting for 3 hours, and I just cut it open, and it still has steam coming out of it.
So remind everybody of the cut that you purchased to do this.
This is a boneless leg of lamb. So just an average boneless leg of lamb. We did preheat the oven to 550. We did 25 minutes at 550. Then we shut the oven off. It's very important to not open the oven door during that next period of time. Then you let it rest for 2.5 hours. And it comes down to a perfect medium rare like we have here. And we're going to cut this into steaks. This does have string around it. It was wrapped. So make sure you're aware of that when you're eating it. Take that string off. The end. But I'm super happy with how the lamb came out. We're going to start the plating over here. And then the very last
So I do have an interesting fact for tonight, though, because it's very relevant to anybody that watches the show live, and if you catch it late, you're going to miss it. So tonight, exactly 20 minutes from now, is a rare occurrence solar-wise, which is the Christmas star. or also called the Star of Bethlehem. So it's about 6:10 East Coast time. It actually starts a little bit right. It's really just right after sunset, and it is when Saturn and Jupiter are about as close as they will ever appear for us. The last time this happened was about 400 years ago, and it's the reflection of both of them that make it look like a star. But it's what's called the Christmas star. Is that between the two of them, they look like they're one. And if you can get an unobstructed view of the sky, such as a field or a park or something like that, you should be able to see it no problem. Like I said, it's about an hour after sunset. Look to the southwest. If you have an app like on your phone, Sky Guide is a really good one because you can just type in Jupiter and you get anywhere you hold the phone and tells you where it is. But you'll be able to see it. You don't need a telescope. You know, if you have the binoculars or a small telescope, you might be able to see the large moons around Jupiter, but you really don't need it. But it's going to look like a very bright, bright star tonight, and that's in about 20 minutes from now. And you're going to have to wait another 400 years to see this again, I guess, or something like that. So, and tonight's tonight. It won't be tomorrow. It's not going to be the same. So this is the closest they're going to get, which will be tonight in about 19 minutes now. I feel like there should be a timer.
All right. My plate is ready. Let me get this up here.
We're still only on the grill cam, so you're going to have to wait, Brian. You're just going to have to wait.
I'm going to have to wait my turn.
Yeah. I just did that whole Christmas star thing, and I got nothing out of it, you know. I mean,
Nothing.
400 years. Once every 400 years, people.
So you get to watch some cooking.
All right, you ready? All right, let's try this again.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. Wow.
Whoa.
See, you did a better. See, I didn't pre-do I didn't pre-sear the duck like that to get that crust. That looks good. Yeah, that was better than what mine turned out. That was smart. Yeah, okay. I tried to do a reverse sear and do it afterwards. You were smarter to do it up front.
Right.
I get that. Now I'm going to have to watch Polar Express to see what the talk is about.
Wow.
All right, getting ready to wrap things up here. McGee is done, plated, eating. Jonathan is pulling the last stuff out of the oven, I think. I don't know what he's doing. Something around the oven.
We're about to brand. We're going to do some branding here. So I'm going to pull up
there we
the
go.
torch, and we're going to brand Merry Christmas in here. And I'm going to check on the vegetables.
Oh, bread.
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts and bacon and duck fat. Thumbs up.
I'm going to have to just do a duck breast just to get the duck fat. Can you just buy duck fat?
Yeah, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Have that.
So,
Wow, that's really good. And if I can, I know they're not a sponsor, but my buddy, Fred, did you ever know Yaml the Camel, Charles LeMay?
Yeah.
He moved to Oregon. He started his own wood company, Woodchuck. He sent me this, made out of Northwest cedar trees. It smells like the inside of a humidor, man. It's beautiful. Anyway,
beautiful.
he sent this to me.
That's nice. I like that.
Very nice. And these little cedar tree coasters, the grain on them are. Where's my camera?
pull these vegetables out. Fennel just.
Any comments here? We're good.
No, cooking duck for the first time. It actually turned out really
Great, now I'm hungry. I didn't even bring any snacks into my office.
No candy corn?
Oh,
Any
God.
Christmas candy?
Dude.
Christmas.
You know,
corn?
I never. I shouldn't have done the candy corn thing because it actually turned me off liking candy corn probably at least for a couple months. Because now I don't even want regular candy corn. There's regular candy corn in the pantry, and I like open it up. I see it every time I open it up, and I'm like, I can't do it right now. I'm just like conditioned after that bad candy corn. I can't even give it a shot. So I'm still holding on a bag for Carney though. He's gonna get that next week or the week after when I see him. So he's gonna see just how bad it really is.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it because I trust your palate, and I'm looking forward to seeing how truly awful it actually is.
I can't wait to see this moment when you crack this open. We'll be smoking some cigars, and I can't wait to see that.
All right, so we got the vegetables
So
done
real
over here.
quick before, go ahead.
Got the vegetables done. We're gonna hit it with a little bit of chives on top just for garnish, and we're gonna get the branding iron going here, and then we're gonna be done. Last thing we're gonna do is brand the beef with the new branding iron.
So real quick before we chime out here, we are actually doing a special on somebody else's show in 2 days on the 23rd. Do you want to talk about that, Jonathan, real quick?
Yeah, we're actually going to be guests on the Smoking Tobacco Show. We're doing their Christmas holiday special at Wednesday at 7 p.m. All three of us will be cooking. We'll be doing Christmas appetizers and cocktails. It's going to be a Christmas cocktail party, and that will be at 7 p.m. on Smoking Tobacco. You can follow them on Facebook at Smoking Tobacco. It's TABACCO. We'll also be on our feeds as well, so we'll be streaming live on all of those. But it'll be a special cigar smoking cocktail party with the crew at Smoking Tobacco. And Smoking Nicole will actually be cooking with us as well too. So one of the Smoking Tobacco crew will be smoking and cooking.
There we go. We got 3 people cooking on the show.
All right, here we go with the branding iron. Got the torch. We're going to have 4 people cooking on the show.
Am I cooking?
If you'd like to, the plans.
Well, then I better go.
All the crew cooking.
I better figure out something to cook. Okay then.
You better get on that.
Yeah, I know, right? Christmas. I don't do Christmas appetizers though. I'm gonna have to go figure out something to do here. This may be a kitchen experience as opposed to a grilling one. We'll see.
Right, if you do prime rib and just cut it in smaller pieces, is that technically not appetizer size?
You could do
That's-
prime rib bites.
I could do prime rib bites. It's so hard to time though. I've been thinking about doing it for the show and showing everybody. It is so hard to time at the end of the show. I don't know whether I'm, where I'm going to hit that window because I could be plus or minus an hour and a half depending on how that thing goes. Gets done on the smoke and how long it has to rest.
So our friend Chris Rosenthal says, pro tip, warming up a branding iron heater with a torch takes forever. The only other option I have is a microwave inside the house, so that would actually cause some bigger issues. I'm going to give this a run here in just a minute. We'll hope for the best, right?
You don't have a gas grill?
No.
Yeah, because you can just leave it on the gas grill for a while. Because it takes a long time.
Well, we're going
But
to
we'll get to just it. You have 30 more seconds before we tune out here.
Here we go.
And remind everybody watching the show, you are 10 minutes away from Christmas Star, which is you'll have to wait 400 yards to see it again. But it is going to be the 2 planets as close as they can get in the Southwest. So go check it out in 10 minutes from now. I know I'm going to. So.
Or do I, not Central Time, do I have to wait an hour and 10 minutes?
You do.
Okay. So I got an hour and 10
Basically,
minutes.
right after sunsets when you can see it. So. And we have the branding iron on there.
And the last thing I'm going to throw on top is I got the little leaf part of the fennel sprouts. It's where they get a little nice flavor and richness from it. That'll go on top of the vegetables as well. Chives on top, so a lot of good flavors there. Alright, time to take this branding iron off. Oh, we're stuck. Uh-oh. It works so well, it's stuck. Alright. It does say Mary on the top.
There
So
we go.
The
Yeah.
Mary came out. The Christmas side, we got a little bit too connected there. So, but here's the final dish.
Just-
Merry Christmas. We'll perfect the little branding iron. But this is the final dish. This is the leg of lamb with the holiday root vegetables. Great dish. Looking forward to digging in. I've been enjoying the lamb the entire time anyway. But there you go.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, everybody. Gentlemen, any last words before we sign off here?
We'll see you all
Thank
on
you.
Wednesday. Wednesday, 7
We'll see you
p.m.
next year.
And then Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. We appreciate all the support throughout the year. One last thing we do want to mention is we do have the Hacking Gourmet swag store. You can go to hackinggourmet.com and just click on the section with Hacking Gourmet swag, and you can jump on there. And right now we have hats, mugs, we have some carrying bags for groceries, as well as some aprons on there, and you can get some t-shirts. But jump on the swag store. We'll be adding more things as things go forward, but that's at hackinggourmet.com.
And I'll tell you what, the first person to go buy something and take a picture of it, put it on Facebook, Instagram, and tag all of us in it, I'll send you a 5-pack of cigars to go with it.
Oh, wow. Hey, let me get on there real quick and order something.
Yeah, I want some stuff,
Thank
so
you,
I gotta tag
everybody.
that picture.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys in 2 days. Everybody else, visit our webpage for details, Gourmet Smoke Sessions, and the Hacking Gourmet swag store, and hackinggourmet.com. We'll be back in 2 days for the special, but otherwise, we'll see you, the rest of you, on January 11th for the first episode in 2021 on Facebook Live. And don't forget to, support our sponsors, Meat and Bone, and Crown Heads, Wood Butcher, the new Steve's. Tell me what Steve's wife.
Uncle Steve Shakes. Uncle Steve.
Thank you,
Shakes.
Uncle Steve.
Yeah.
I always want to say shakes first. That's not right. So anyway, that's it. We're out of here. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night. 8 minutes to Christmas Star, at least if you're on the East Coast, but catch it 10 minutes after sunset. And see you guys later.